Hindi ko pa nagagamit yung calculus sa kahit anong desisyon ginawa ko sa buhay ko eh. And yet I was required to take it. And I nearly failed it. Mag-engineer ka, doon ka na mag-calculus, wag na sa high school. We're actually training our students to solve problems that are not yet problems when you were teaching them. So how can they possibly have the answer for these things when they didn't even know it was going to be a problem by the time they go out in the workplace? If you're a graduate of K-12, pwede ka nang matanggap sa trabaho including pagpupuliso ko naman na hindi na kailangan ng 2-year college degree o 4-year college degree. Hayaan mo na yung scientist, yung doktor, yung abogado, yung engineer na mag-college. Pero yung ordinaryong trabaho, hindi na kailangan mag-college. Pwede nang matanggap at tanggapin sa trabaho. Including pagpupuliso ko. Hindi lang, gusto mo pasakitin ko pa ulo nyo? Dadagdagan ko pa. Saying I completely disagree with Tintik na Secretary Jokno. All he's thinking about is investing in capital outlay, not in human capital. 255 billion ang lintik. That is completely wrong. For whatever reason, pag binito uli ng bagong presidente, nakakadalawang presidente na kayo. My problem with that is, if government pays for the balance, which is roughly 3 billion in 2022, and you're looking at 4 billion in 2023 and another 4 billion in 2024, hindi naman pwedeng balong na walang katapusan to. And you cannot be left to your own vices to decide that, and all of a sudden, sisingilin yung gobyerno because it creates complications. Number one, kung binigyan ko ng pera ang isang ahensya ng gobyerno para bumili ng isang kotse, in this case, para magpaaral ng isang estudyante, saan kumuha ng kapangyarihan yung ahensya ng gobyerno bumili ng 5 kotse? In your case, you were given funding to enroll X number of students. Where did you get the authority to exceed that number? Fine, ang sasabihin sa akin, madalas sinasabi sa akin, ang dami nag-enroll hindi naman namin pwedeng tanggihan. I see that need, I understand that. But legally, technically, and accounting-wise, saan nyo i-charge yun? At paano babayaran ng gobyerno yun? Sumobra kayo sa budget na binigay sa inyo. Again, if you tell me kulang yung budget, palagi naman kulang. Lahat ng ahensya, palaging kulang yung budget. Wala ka nang magagawa doon. Talagang kulang palagi. Kung ano man ang pinropose mo, hindi bibigay lahat. Nandun na tayo. It is an issue, ha? Kung paano yun babayaran ng gobyerno, saan i-charge? Wala namang savings dito. And again, where did the authority come from to exceed what government allocated for you by way of free tertiary education? And what about the schools that followed? So pag binayaran lahat yan, what's preventing the 29% of schools who followed to also follow what the 71% did? If the moratorium ends by December 31, 2023, and each state university and college will establish its own tuition fee based on what the board decides, hindi pa nyo ini-implement, hindi nyo sinabi sa DBM kung magkano yun, paano na naman tayo yan? There must be a way to make the cost per unit uniform. Hindi pwedeng manghula ang gobyerno, ang DBM in particular, kung magkano i-allocate. For sure, kung sino yung enrolled na, dapat tumuloy na yan hanggang matapos. That's clear. At some point in time, DBM should allow you a certain increase given that our population is increasing per year. Okay yun. UP, nag-exceed noong 2022 ng 607 million mula dun sa inappropriate ng Congress for free tertiary education. Bakit may Rizal Technological University na 0? Ano, masasama ugali nila, hindi nila pinayagan mag-enroll, mabubuti yung mga puso nito mga eskwela ang nagpayagan mag-enroll na lahat gusto mag-enroll. May sumunod, sir eh. Yun ang sinasabi ko, may sumunod eh. 29% followed the budget allocated by DBM, 71% did not. Now, if you're telling me that the basis is the law, na basta nag-enroll, payagan, no. The GAA is specific. Yun yung budget na inallocate. Mababa man yun o mataas, awayin nyo yung mga taga-DBM dito. Because we're given a cap. And you were given a cap too. And ang issue lang doon ay, kung yung bata nakapag-enroll na, 3rd year na, at hindi pinatapos. Yun, may issue ako doon. But if it is an additional student in excess of the budget given to you, again, I ask, sir, what is the basis? Paano ko, saan naniningil kayo sa gobyerno ng balanse? Ano yung legal basis ng gobyernong bayaran? Because there is no item in the GAA that allows that payment. So magiging accounts payable to, you have to prove it and Congress has to allocate a budget for it either in 2024 or in succeeding years. Or pwedeng gawin ng gobyerno, basta babayaran namin 50% o 70% ng utang, take it or leave it. Kung gusto nyo maghintay pa ng accounts payable na mabayaran, okay lang din, pero yung tatanggap, waive na yung balance eh. So, there are several options. Paano yung tuition fee? Hindi naman namin alam ngayon sa Kongreso. Wala namang nag-submit sa amin. Projected tuition fee increases nyo given the lapse of the moratorium in 2024. Why is it that 29% followed and 71% did not? Nag-usap-usap pa kayo o bahala na si Batman? May masunurin, may hindi masunurin, di ba? Kung totoo kasi yung sinasabi nyo, sir, edi lahat sana ng schools ginawa yung ginawa ng 71% pero hindi. May 29% na sumunod eh. Which proves na kaya naman pala eh. That's what I cannot reconcile. Apparently, you did not talk among yourself. Sana nag-agree na lang kayo na, hoy, prepare tayo ha, para hindi tayo magkaiba.
Mr. Chair, we're also bothered. Bakit din po, meron namang labis naman ng appropriations. That's also bothering us. May labis ang appropriation. Labis pa ang ibinigay ng DBM dun sa estudyante na mag-enroll. So that's also bothering us. Sabi po ninyo, meron namang equal, tama lang. And yun namang iba ay medyo lumabis naman. Well, just to invite your attention, Mr. Chair, noon pong 2022, ang first year natin ay 520 million first year. To answer directly, Mr. Chair, hindi pa po kami tapos.
Hindi lang, gusto mong pasakitin ko pa ulo nyo? Dadagdagan ko pa.
On the part of the DBM po, we have already released po that 860 million. Yung pong 430 ay para po sa free higher ed po ng SUKS. Na-identify din po ng CHED po na meron po silang kakulangan po na 6.732 billion. In response to that po, the DBM released po 3,834,780,000 nito pong October 2. So nasa CHED na rin po ito, sir.
On the part of CHED, we can only attest to the 2022 claims because until 2022, we were still validating the students.
So in other words, we cannot factor in that anymore in the tuition fee because national government is giving that as a form of subsidy. Let's study and unpack the tuition fee of state universities. How is it derived? No? So that we will have an understanding of how tuition fees are derived. And maybe come up with a uniform formula. 5,000 per student, it will explode. That will create problems in the budgeting.
Sorry, I will go on the record by saying I completely disagree with Secretary Jokno. All he's thinking about is investing in capital outlay, not in human capital. That is completely wrong. 255 billion ang ang utang na loob na pondo ng flood control ng DPWH. Ang free tertiary education nasa 20 billion, not even 10%. Tapos yung pa yung pupunteriyahin niya at hindi yung flood control. Excuse me naman, para mali naman yata yun. Yata makatarungan yun. Again, I have no qualms about investing in the human capital of the country. Sure, but more important, in fact, would be the human capital of the country. And this is an investment in the country's human capital.
How many students, how much is the increase in terms of the number of students taking the entrance exam? Lumaki rin yung pumapasa. Because there are more who take the entrance exam, the probability of passing also went up.
Basis namin ng acceptance, grades, at saka yung entrance exam. Ngayon, ang entrance exam, hindi sila nakapunta sa eskwelahan dahil hindi nakakuha ng exam, dahil pandemic nga. What we did, imbis na 2 years average nung high school, grade 11 and grade 12, ginawa namin grade 9, grade 10, 11, and 12. Yung in-average namin, that is the basis of our admission, just to compensate yung admission exam.
The logic of K-12 program was designed to increase the quality of our high school graduates, so much so that they don't need anymore to get a college degree to have a job. To cite as an example, noon ang requirement ng police high school graduate lang, sasama ng quality ng mga high school graduate natin na K-10. Nagpasa ng batas ang Kongresong ni-require na dapat bago ka maging police, college graduate ka 4 years. And they gave the high school graduate policemen time to comply, a period of 7 or 8 years na makakuha ng degree. At pag hindi nakakuha, tanggal sila sa pagkapulis. But Congress and the private sector has not yet adjusted to K-12. So much so that if you're a graduate of K-12, pwede ka nang matanggap sa trabaho including pagpupulis o kung ano man na hindi na kailangan ng 2-year college degree o 4-year college degree. It will make the country more productive because instead of plus 2 years before your child lands a job, minus 2 years pa ngayon kasi hindi na kailangan magkolehiyo eh. The principle again at that time was, hayaan mo na yung scientist, yung doktor, yung abogado, yung engineer na mag-college. Pero yung ordinaryong trabaho, hindi na kailangan mag-college. Pwede nang matanggap at tanggapin sa trabaho. Especially na highly technical job. What they teach you on the first year will be outdated by the time he graduates on the 4th year. Essentially, most of our workforce are learning on the job. Doon lang nila natututunan naman talaga yung mga kailangan matutunan eh, na never tinuro sa classroom. In fact, what's scary is, given how fast-paced technology is changing, I saw a quote that said, we are actually training our students to solve problems that are not yet problems when you were teaching them. So how can they possibly have the answer for these things when they didn't even know it was going to be a problem by the time they go out in the workplace? Hindi naman to never-ending, Dr. Arcega, na patas ng patas, because once we get our acts together, it should be simpler and faster to produce people who are productive and who can actually perform and do the job assigned to them without necessarily having a diploma. Although I thank the Vice President for reviewing the curriculum, kasi hanggang ngayon ang paniniwala ko pa rin, I was bashed for it for a while, pero okay lang. May mga kurso naman talaga hindi na dapat kinukuha. Ikaw, Popoy, nagamit mo ng trigonometry mo sa high school sa buong buhay mo? Ako hanggang ngayon, hindi pa eh. Hindi ko pa nagagamit yung calculus sa kahit anong decision ginawa ko sa buhay ko eh. And yet I was required to take it. And I nearly failed it. Ngayon kung mag-engineer ka, doon ka na mag-calculus, wag na sa high school. Hirap-hirap doon, wag na sa college. Political science ang course ko, may calculus ako eh. Bakit? Dapat, di ba? Wala naman akong ambisyon gumaling sa math eh. I mean, Sir, Dr. Ronquillo, ako pangako ko sa iyo, calculus, trigonometry, kahit algebra, hindi ko nagamit. Ang nagamit ko lang trigonometry. Sa isang bagay lang, sa bilyar. Para tama yung angulo, di ba? Para pag binanda mo. We'll try to schedule a meeting. If you cannot agree on that and set a meeting, we will try to be the one to set a meeting. Let me know, let our office know, Dr. Ronquillo, if you have been empowered by PASOK to bring up to 5 other representatives for as long as you come up with, you attend the meeting with SHED and DBM with a singular position already. Hindi yung magdedebate kayo among yourselves in that meeting, ha?